There's a crisis in Ontario schools, and it has to do with the working conditions that teachers are facing. Don't get me wrong, I'm lucky to have the job that I do. I'm lucky to love the job that I do. But like for perspective, last year I had a semester where I had a class of 37, a class of 35, and a class of 33. It's incredibly difficult to do all of that marking and actually pay attention to every single student's work and give it all of the thoughtful criticism and feedback that you want to give them, as well as to manage that in a classroom. And a new University of Ottawa study highlights escalating violence and harassment faced by education workers, threatening their well-being and retention. Especially in the elementary years, the violence that some of these teachers face is immense. Because yeah, violence in the classroom is actually a thing people face. A couple years ago when my wife first started teaching, she had a student take out a pair of scissors and threaten her with them, and then the father got upset that the principal addressed it at all. I've had friends who have been physically assaulted in their classrooms. I once had a parent threaten me with violence because I talked about empathy in the classroom. There are many ways in which this job is stressful, but we are now facing things that teachers have not ever had to face in their entire careers. I have people who I'm working with who are 20, 30-year teachers who have been teaching their whole lives, and they're basically saying that they want to retire, they want to quit before they actually get their full pension because they just can't do it anymore. The job is so much worse than it has ever been. It is absolutely horrendous. And thing is, like, I have only ever taught in this. I have only ever taught under Doug Ford. I have only ever really taught post-COVID. I have only ever taught in this environment, and it's pretty bad. I don't want to quit. I love this job, but I can totally understand why, even if this was a little bit better, because I was teaching in 2019. I remember before all this happened. God, even just those few semesters were great. And listen, all jobs are stressful. I'm not going to pretend like teachers somehow have it worse than most people, especially once again, because a lot of us love this job. But the thing is, if we are miserable at the job and we no longer love it, many of us are willing to take pay cuts to leave the industry. And that will lower the quality of education in this province. Even as it stands now, most math, science, computer science, tech, and business teachers, we've taken pay cuts coming from the private sector to become teachers because we want to do a job that we love. But the government treats us like dirt. We get threatened by students and parents, and our working conditions haven't gotten any better. They're only getting worse. No wonder that we're headed for a crisis.